When discussing the legendary actor Jett Li, it's inevitable to bring up the early comparisons to Jackie Chan. Both actors hail from China and boast impressive martial arts abilities, which they prominently showcased in their films. Furthermore, both men made their mark in Hollywood after relocating to the United States. Of course, all this superficial analogy with Jackie dissipates if you delve deeper into Jett Li's career and read his biography. In this video, we will do just that and try to understand what happened to the actor's career, and at what point Jett Li decided to step away from filming new projects. Jett Li was born in 1963 in Beijing. The actor's real name is Li Liangxie. Subsequently, when Li started a film career, he took the pseudonym Jett Li. A government program in China required children to participate in various summer activities, so that children would not be idle during school vacations. Fortunately for himself, Li ended up in a children's sports camp where he was introduced to the oriental martial art called wushu. After graduating from the sports camp, Li was the only one the coach offered to continue training. Li enjoyed the training, and very quickly, he joined the national wushu team. And at 9, Li received the title of the Best Master. In this period, the actor came when Bruce Lee tragically died, and the Chinese film industry searched for a new Bruce Lee. A film producer saw young Jett Li perform and asked the boy if he wanted to be an action star when he grew up. Naturally, Jett Li said yes, after which this producer came to see every performance with Jett Li, until Jett was old enough to start acting in movies. As part of a program to build relations between China and the West, the national wushu team competed in the United States, where they performed in front of the then President of the United States, Richard Nixon. Nixon was so impressed with the young athlete's performance that he jokingly asked Jett Li to become his personal bodyguard, to which the boy politely declined. After returning from America, Li continues his successful performance in various competitions, earning numerous awards. When Jett Li was 17, he got his first movie role and changed his real name to the pseudonym Jett Li. The debut work in the movie Jett Li was a picture called Shaolin Temple, in which the actor played the role of an orphan boy raised by Shaolin monks. The film was shot in an actual monastery, which made the monastery a popular place among tourists. The picture was a resounding success, and a year later, there was a sequel titled Kids from Shaolin, and 4 years later, there was a third part, Martial Arts of Shaolin. In 1991, after the release of the movie Once Upon a Time in China, Jett Li became a real star of action movies in his homeland. The film was a huge commercial success, so 2 sequels soon followed, which were released within 2 years of the premiere of the original movie. Naturally, the star's status had a favorable effect on the number of Jett Li's projects. In just 2 years was released 10 films with his participation were released in just 2 years, and in 1994 the actor encroached on the most intimate. He starred in the remake of Fist of Fury, considered a cult action movie with Bruce Lee. The remake was called Fist of Legend. As with most remakes, the news of the release of Fist of Legend caused mixed conversations and fears among fans of Bruce Lee's work. But after the film's release, all fears were in vain, and the remake went down in history as one of the best films about martial arts. In 1995, the screen came out with a comedy action movie, High Risk, in which Jett Li played a character named Kit Li, the bodyguard of a cranky actor. As it turned out later, this character was the prototype of Jackie Chan, after which Jett Li said that if he had known about it before, he would never have taken part in this film, because he has great respect for Jackie and considers this kind of films disrespectful to the legendary actor. Despite his popularity in his homeland, the actor's career was marred by unpleasant details. At that time, the cinema in China was controlled by criminal organizations, which did not like Jett Li. He even hired an agent to help break his contract with the studios. Sometime later, the agent was found murdered. With no other choice, Jett Li continued filming in his home country. In 1996, he released his participation picture called Black Mask, in which Jett Li tried on a suit of a mysterious superhero. In 1998, the actor decided to try his hand in Hollywood. Even though Jett Li was very popular in his homeland, his fees were different from the status he had, and participation in a huge number of projects that came out almost every year did not bring a huge salary. And of course, we should not forget the problems with local show business, which was controlled by criminal structures. In addition, before my eyes was an inspiring example of Jackie Chan, who went to Hollywood and was able to succeed there. So when Jett Li had a chance to try his hand in Hollywood, he immediately took it. His debut work in Hollywood was the film Lethal Weapon 4, but unlike his Chinese films, where Jett played only positive heroes, he still had to prove to Hollywood studios that he could handle the role of the main character in the Western blockbusters, so they had to start with the role of antagonist. By the way, the role was initially offered to Jackie Chan, but Jackie flatly refused to play the part of the main villain in the film, after which the part was offered to Jett Li. And because of the way in Hollywood Jett Li was beginning, and in the case of rejection of the role, a new offer may not follow, he eventually agreed to the role. American audiences loved the appearance of Jett Li in Lethal Weapon, which could not be said about his Asian fans, who were discouraged when they saw their favorite actor in the role of a bad guy. Either way, the actor had little choice, and to gain a foothold in Hollywood, he had to take this step. The filming of Lethal Weapon happened quite a funny situation. Film director Richard Donner asked Jett to slow his movements during combat scenes, as he was moving too fast, and the camera needed more time to capture all his tricks. As a result, Jett Li had to move a little slower than his usual speed. The film ended up being average at the box office, grossing $285 million on a budget of $140 million. But what was more critical for Jett Li was the sympathy of Western audiences, which manifested in a nomination for an MTV Award in the category Best Villain. Then came the year 2000. Jett Li realized that in order not to consolidate his status as a bad guy in movies, he needed to play the role of a positive hero in the next film, and director Andrei Kowiak gave him such an opportunity, offering him the lead role in the action film Romeo Must Die. The film did well at the box office, earning a solid $90 million on a budget of $25 million. In 2001, Jett Li starred in the movie Kiss of the Dragon, in which he wrote the script in collaboration with Luc Besson. This film again happened story on the set of Lethal Weapon. The filmmakers admitted that they had to slow down the actor in the film's post-production so that the audience could see them. You could say that the actor was ahead of the technological progress of the time, which allowed him to shoot only 24 frames per second. In a favorable light, Jett Li exhibited all the combat scenes and stunts Jett Li did himself, without the help of assistants and stunt performers. Nevertheless, the film has caused mixed reactions. Viewers praised the production of combat scenes but also noted the film's excessive cruelty and the lack of an exciting storyline. Next came the sci-fi action film The One. The film tells the story of a hero who travels through the multiverse, killing different versions of himself to become the chosen one. The One was the first to feature Jett Li and Jason Statham on the same screen. The film earned a modest $72 million on a budget of $50 million and received a ton of criticism mainly because of the terrible special effects. The next step in the actor's career was to return to his homeland to shoot the movie Hero, in which he played the main protagonist. For the sake of this role, Jett Li refused an offer to star in the sequels of The Matrix. The film Hero became the most expensive project at the time in Chinese cinema. Its budget was $31 million, but the box office was impressive. It made $177 million worldwide and was the first Chinese-language film to top the American box office, holding the #1 spot for 2 weeks and receiving an Oscar nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. After Hero, Jett Li returns to the Hollywood blockbuster scene, starring in the action film Cradle to the Grave alongside DMX. This movie could not boast positive reviews, unlike his previous work. The film was called silly, and from the plusses, they only highlighted the presence of Jett Li in it. The film eventually managed to earn $56 million on a budget of $25 million. Then came 2004, the year that divided Jett Li's life into a before and after. The actor was on vacation with his daughter in the Maldives just as the tsunami hit Southeast Asia. There was no news about the actor for a few days, and the world thought the actor had died in a flood. Luckily, this information was not confirmed, and the actor got in touch after a while, saying he was fine. As Jett Li later admitted, the tragedy was miraculously avoided. When water leaked into the hotel lobby, he managed to save his daughter, who was in the hall at that moment, thanks to an instant reaction. This incident had a profound impact on the actor's life. He organized a charitable foundation, which provides the necessary assistance to victims of natural disasters, and has been engaged in it until now. In 2005, Jett Li returned to filming, starring in the movie Unleashed, written by Luc Besson again. The audience received the film very warmly, though it barely noticeably affected the box office. With a budget of $45 million, the picture earned $50 million. In 2006, one of the best films was released with the actor fearless. By this point, the recognition of Jett Li viewers was so great that the appearance of his name on the poster of film was a guarantee of quality. In 2007, Jett Li again appeared on the same screen with Jason Statham in War. But despite the famous duo, the film hardly managed to pay off, and the picture itself was assessed by many viewers as boring and full of all kinds of cliches. But in 2008, something happened that was bound to happen sooner or later. Jett Li and Jackie Chan starred together in a movie called The Forbidden Kingdom. As Jackie Chan later admitted, he enjoyed filming with Jett Li, and the audience enjoyed seeing their favorite actors together on the same screen. The film received mostly positive reviews and $128 million in revenue on a budget of $55 million. That same year, the third installment of the popular The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor franchise was released, starring Jett Li as the Dragon Emperor. While the picture managed to earn $403 million at the box office, the third Mummy is considered the worst film of the entire franchise, or rather was considered until The Mummy with Tom Cruise came out. In 2010, a film was released with the craziest cast of actors in the history of cinema, called The Expendables. The film elicited mixed reactions from audiences, but the cast list still looks impressive, perhaps more impressive than the film itself. Naturally, a film with such a cast list couldn't help but pay off, and on a budget of $82 million, the film earned $274 million at the box office, which resulted in the release of 2 sequels. In 2013, Jett Li admitted to suffering from hypothyroidism. This disease is caused by a malfunction in the thyroid gland, causing hormones to be produced in more significant quantities than needed. Around the same time, the photo of Jett Li began to circulate on the network. He looks too old, which does not ridiculously worry his fans. Later, the actor's manager said that the lighting in the photo made Li look out of place and that the actor was fine. And when the premiere of Mulan in 2020, which also starred Jett Li, all doubts about his health were dispelled. In the film's premiere photo, the actor looks perfectly healthy, after which his fans exhaled with relief. The film Mulan is the latest film with Jett Li. As the actor admits, he deliberately walked away from filming to focus all his attention on charity, and the question of his return to the film industry is still open. It has recently been revealed that a new installment of Unstoppable is being prepared for release, but it has not yet been reported that Jett Li will return to his role. Either way, whatever decision Jett Li makes, he has forever inscribed his name in the history of cinema.